This week.
The number one most requested feature of PSVR2 is finally being addressed this week. With the release of the PC Adapter on August 8th, PlayStation VR2 owners will finally be able to use their headset with Steam VR. It's a pretty big deal for a lot of cats who've been curious about PC games that haven't made their way to console yet. And, of course, those looking to experiment with the UE VR injector. Just be sure your PC meets the minimum specs and, well, have fun. Set in the rundown town of Grindstone, circa 1993, you play as Ashley, a rebel teenager going against your father's wishes to continue the family's laundromat business. Go hands-on managing the fully gamified day-to-day tasks, from manually picking up gum, doing the laundry, scrubbing the toilet perfectly clean, to throwing out the trash in a basketball-style minigame. Then take your hard-earned money from completing these tasks to unlock your real objective, buying more arcade units. Featuring 12 fully realized VR cabinets alongside 27 traditionally controlled games from the original release, it's time to convert the laundromat into your very own arcade paradise. Publisher Wired Games announced this week that if you buy the flat screen version, which is on sale right now, you can upgrade to the PSVR2 version for just $10 more. Darksword Battle Eternity offers players a fast-paced sword-fighting and arrow-shooting VR hack-and-slash experience. Venture deep into the world of the Twisted Corridors to develop your own style of combat, exploit enemy weaknesses, level up, and collect materials to craft more powerful weapons and defeat your enemies to lift the curse of the Darksword. Play the single-player story mode to fight waves of monsters, challenging semi-bosses, and epic boss-level encounters in a roguelite fashion. Then cooperate to gain even more rewards in the time-limited co-op missions. Alright, let's try this again. Bocce VR was supposed to come out last week on July 31st, but then got delayed at the last minute. It's now planned for Friday, August 9th. But considering there's no way to play with others online, we've got our expectations firmly in check. Apparently Compound is going for some kind of record for the most appearances on PSVR this week, ever. But the wait for this highly anticipated, retro-inspired roguelite first-person shooter is almost over, as the developer announced this week that Compound is hitting PlayStation VR2, running at a native 120Hz and utilizing all the features of the headset on August 13th. The Utility Room is not a traditional VR game. It's not inspired by anything. It's not set in a cyberpunk city 150 years in the future. There's no shooting or flashing lights or gumball machine gameplay. It's a place that no one has ever seen or visited, and it's a place that you don't belong. The Utility Room can best be described as more of a journey, one that takes place across a barren, rocky, and dangerous world, and one that you can experience for yourself on August 28th.
Do you need a getaway from all the hardships of the last couple years? Then join the Snow Scouts!
Snow Scout has officially gone into QA with Sony, but in the meantime, developer Tuner Max has shared this short trailer showing off some native PSVR2 gameplay. This one looks fun, so hopefully everything goes smoothly, and we'll get a release date soon.
Beautiful mountain views. You'll have your hands full with work. Reopen, repair, recycle, and even reload. Keep an eye out for danger. Keep an eye out for nature and become a true Snow Scout. Relax in your ski hut after a hard day of work, because tomorrow will be another day full of excitement.
Survios dropped a new trailer for Alien Rogue Incursion during San Diego Comic-Con, showing off a lot more gameplay, weapons, and even a couple tools you'll be using throughout the game. It looks good, and during one specific interview with The Gamer, Chief Product Officer TK Jefferson says the rogue in Rogue Incursion refers to Zula, a former colonial marine who's gone rogue. Now, does this definitely mean that Rogue Incursion isn't a roguelike? No, of course not. But during a time where seemingly half of all the games coming out on flat screen and VR are currently roguelikes, it's a terrible and honestly misleading name for a game that isn't.
Not once did I bow my head. By the time you hear this, I will have carved my name on the surface of this planet with a smoking crater.
The newest trailer for Pneumata dropped today, and for a game made by mostly one person, it's looking incredible. But you've probably noticed that the trailer, which announces an August 20th release date, makes no mention of PSVR2. Now, I checked with publisher Perp Games about this a few weeks back, and what they said makes a lot of sense. They're just trying to cross the finish line and make sure that the flat screen version is everything they want it to be, and then focus on the PSVR2 version soon after launch. So stay tuned, we should be hearing some more news soon. Although being announced over a month ago, we finally saw the first gameplay trailer for Tier 1 Direct Action this week. The pre-alpha footage looks, well, pretty much exactly how you'd expect it to, but all the VRAF gameplay elements seem to be in place, in stark contrast to the button-pressing gameplay of Firewall Ultra. It's promising, I'll say that, and it's reassuring that a lot of this team are the same people who brought us Onward, a critically acclaimed Quest and Steam FPS a few years back. Martin Griffiths is Hello Games' engine programmer and the guy responsible for implementing DFR into the PlayStation VR2 version of No Man's Sky. He wrote quite a bit on Twitter about the process, but for the sake of this segment, I want to point out the last few words of his post, where he writes, "I'm definitely not finished with PSVR2," which likely means very good things for Light No Fire.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Take it easy for a moment while I brief you.
Killing Floor Incursion was one of the better zombie shooters on PSVR1. The ability to play through the campaign in two-player co-op was awesome, the environments looked great, combat was brutal, and there were just enough puzzles thrown in to keep things interesting. I'd love to run through this one again with an even better resolution, haptics, and adaptive triggers. Now, is it likely that Tripwire Interactive will bring this one to PSVR2? Unlikely, considering that they never even fixed the game-breaking bugs that were found in the PSVR1 version.
Are you having a blackout? A seizure?
Do not die.
That will not improve your situation.
Every week, our good friend Professor Lilith organizes a multiplayer meetup over on our Discord. It happens every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and this week we'll be playing 4-player co-op Snowbreed Shooter After the Fall. If you can't make this week's meetup, don't worry, it happens every Sunday at the same time. So, make sure you click the link in the description below. Come join our Discord.
Malia?
Get something more than looting coming.
This week.